내일 시간 있어요?
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Quick Korean. Today, we will be studying the section 내일 시간 있어요? Or do you have time tomorrow? The topic of today's lesson is the weekend. We will learn vocabulary related to weekend activities and the grammar points 고, which expresses the time order of actions, and 고 싶어요, which expresses a hope or desire. After studying this lesson, you will be able to talk about the order of when things happen and your hopes and desires. Lastly, in the culture section, we will explore Korean movies. Well then, let's get started. First, listen carefully to today's dialogue. Chunsu went on a blind date where he met Haejin. Now he runs into Haejin at the cafeteria. He is very interested in Haejin. What kind of things do you think Chunsu would say to Haejin? Let's take a listen to the conversation and find out.
내일 시간 있어요? 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요.
미안해요. 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요.
아, 그럼 주말은 어때요?
네, 좋아요.
So were you able to understand the conversation? What do you think Chunsu will do on the weekend? Right, he is going to watch a movie with Haejin. Now, before taking a closer look at the conversation, let's first look at the vocabulary and grammar that come out in the dialogue. First, we have the vocabulary section for this lesson. Our first word here is 주말. Please read along and repeat after me. 주말. 주말. Now, as you can see on the calendar here, Saturday and Sunday are marked. Saturday and Sunday make up the weekend, or we would say in Korean, 주말. Now, let's go ahead and say this word one more time. 주말. Now, our next word here is 영화. Please read along and repeat after me. 영화. 영화. So, did you happen to see the movies Iron Man and Transformers? These are examples of movies, or in Korean, 영화. Now, let's go ahead and say this word together one more time. 영화. The next word here is 시간. Please follow along and repeat after me. 시간. 시간. Now, let's say I read a book from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So, for how many hours did I read the book? Correct. From 4 to 6, that would be 2 hours. In Korean, we would say 2시간, meaning 2 hours. We can count hours by using this word 시간. Now let's go ahead and say this word together one more time. 시간. Our next word here is 약속. Please follow along and repeat after me. 약속. 약속. Now tomorrow, I'm planning to meet my friend at 3 o'clock. Then I can say that I have an appointment, or 약속, at 3 o'clock. Now let's go ahead and say this word together again. 약속. Now let's review the vocabulary that we just learned. Here we have a calendar, and Saturday and Sunday are marked. What do we call Saturday and Sunday? Right. In Korean it would be 주말, or weekend in English. What about here? What do you watch at the movie theater? You'd watch movies, or in Korean we call it 영화. 영화. Next, we have a picture of a clock here, and you can see that the hour hand there was originally at 4 and it moved to 6. So how much time has passed? It looks like 2 hours or 2시간. 2시간 or hours. Now, Junsu and Haejin are talking together and they are planning to meet tomorrow. What did they just make? They made an appointment or 약속. Excellent. Now, starting today, let's work hard in learning Korean. Make a promise or 약속 with me that you will do your best.
내일 시간 있어요? 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요.
미안해요. 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요.
아, 그럼 주말은 어때요?
네, 좋아요.
Now, let's take a closer look at the dialogue for this section. In today's dialogue, Junsu wants to see a movie. Now, does he want to see this movie alone? Of course not. He wants to go and see the movie with Haejin. So, he asks Haejin, 내일 시간 있어요? Or, do you have time tomorrow? And he also adds, 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요. Now here, this 영화 보고 싶어요 expresses his desire to see the movie. But how does Haejin respond? She responds by saying, 미안해요, or she's sorry. Now, in other words, she refuses his offer. Now, why does she refuse his offer? Well, it's in the back part here. It says, 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요, which says that after her class, she has other plans. So, does Junsu give up? No, he continues asking Haejin out. So, the next question he asks is, 그럼 주말은 어때요? Or, how about the weekend? And how is the weekend for Haejin? Well, she responds by saying, 네, 좋아요. Or, it's good. So it looks like Junsu succeeded in asking out Haejin. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the grammar for this section. Our first grammar point is 고. Now, we use 고 here to link two actions. So after one action has been completed with another action into one sentence. This will probably could become more clear with an example. So in our first example here, we have two sentences here and two different actions. We have 수업 끝나요 and 약속이 있어요. So you can see that if we combine the two together, we get 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요. So in other words, after 수업 끝나요, so after the first action, in this case, class ends, then 약속이 있어요. I have plans or some other appointment that I need to attend to. So by combining these two together, we get 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요. Now let's go ahead and read the sentence together. We have 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요. Great. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the next example. Our next example, we have again two actions, two sentences. We have 저녁을 먹었어요. 커피를 마셨어요. Now, how can we combine those two into a sentence? Well, again, we would use our 고, and we get 저녁을 먹고 커피를 마셨어요. Now, notice that 먹었어요. This is in the past, right? But when we use it together with 고, we do not use the past in there. We just use 먹고, as you can see here. But now here, the second verb, the 마셨어요, is in the past. So this verb here tells us that all these actions happened in the past. So you can see that there is no need to put it here. Now let's go ahead and read this sentence together. We have 저녁을 먹고 커피를 마셨어요. Excellent. Now, if we take a look at this in more detail, this 고 is used together with action verbs such as 끝나다 and 먹다. Now, you can notice in our first example, 끝나다, how do we use it? Well, we take the 끝나, remove the 다, add the 고, and get 끝나고. Also, in the second example here, we take the 먹다, we just take the 먹 part here, remove the 다, add the 고 to get us 먹고. Now, let's go ahead and read through this together. Please repeat after me. 끝나다, 고, 끝나고. 먹다, 고, 먹고. Excellent. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the second grammar point. The second grammar point here is 고 싶어요. Now this 고 싶어요 expresses a desire or wanting to do something. Now let's go ahead and take a look at an example here. We have 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요. Now remember, it was Junsu who wanted to go see a movie together with Haejin. So he expresses this want with this 고 싶어요. Now, if we go through this sentence together, we have our verb here is 보다, and which means to see or watch. And by attaching this 고 싶어요, it's expressing I want to see or I want to watch. Now, and what's being watched here? The 영화 and movie. And the 같이 here means together. So literally this translates to I want to see a movie together with you. So let's go ahead and read this sentence together. 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요. Great. Let's go ahead and take a look at another example. Our next example here is 친구를 만나고 싶어요. Now let's say I have a friend that I haven't seen for a long time. Obviously, I would like to catch up with that friend, meet up with that friend. So you can see here, again, I might be able to use this sentence. And this 고 싶어요 expresses a want. And the verb here is 만나다, or to meet. So you can see if the 만나다 is right here. And if we combine this, we get 만나고 싶어요, which means I want to meet. And by adding this 친구를 here, it's expressing that I want to meet my friend. Now let's go ahead and read this sentence together. Please repeat after me. 친구를 만나고 싶어요. Great. Now let's take a look at this 고 싶어요 in a little more detail. Now 고 싶어요 is used with action verbs. So in other words, it is not used with descriptive verbs. So you can see here, it is used as follows. Our first example, we have 보다. Now to use this, what we do is we take the 보, remove the 다, and add this 고 싶어요 to get us the 보고 싶어요. Meaning, again, I want to see or I want to watch. Now, in our second example, we have 만나다. Again, what we do is we take the 만나, remove the 다, and add this 고 싶어요 to get us 만나고 싶어요. Great. So let's go ahead and practice saying this together. Please repeat after me. 보다, 고 싶어요, 보고 싶어요. 만나다, 고 싶어요, 만나고 싶어요. Excellent. Well done. Now, let's go ahead and take another listen to the dialogue.
내일 시간 있어요? 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요.
미안해요. 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요.
아, 그럼 주말은 어때요?
네, 좋아요.
Now, let's take another look at the dialogue. This time, let's read through it together. Listen and repeat after me. 내일 시간 있어요? 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요. 미안해요. 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요. 아, 그럼 주말은 어때요? 네, 좋아요. Now, this time we will go through the dialogue again with you reading the part of 혜진.
내일 시간 있어요? 같이 영화를 보고 싶어요. 아, 그럼 주말은 어때요?
Now, let's go through the dialogue once more. This time, you read the part of 준수.
미안해요. 수업 끝나고 약속이 있어요. 네, 좋아요.
Well done. Now it's time for speaking practice. We'll practice using the vocabulary and grammar that we learned earlier in this section. Now, in this first part, we're going to be practice using the 고 that we learned earlier. Now here, take a look at the picture and complete the sentences. Now here on the left, you can see that 준수 saw a movie. Or in Korean, we would say 영화를 보다. And you can see afterwards, he drank some coffee. And you can see that in Korean, it would be 커피를 마시다. Now, how would we combine those two actions into one sentence? So we would say 영화를 보고 커피를 마셨어요. Now here we have 혜진, and here in the left picture you can see that 혜진 ate, and you can see in Korean that would be 밥을 먹다. And then you can see afterwards she went for a walk, or 산책을 하다. You can see right there. So now if we want to combine these two actions into one sentence, how would we do that? We would say 밥을 먹고 산책을 했어요. This time, we'll practice making sentences with the pattern 고 싶어요, as you can see right there. Now, it's break from school. What does 준수 want to do during the break? You can see that he wants to travel, or in Korean we would say 여행을 하다. So then how would we express 준수's desire? We would say 방학에 여행을 하고 싶어요. Now here, there are no clothes in the closet. On the weekend, 혜진 wants to go shopping. So how would we say that in Korean? We would say 백화점에서 쇼핑을 하고 싶어요. Now it's time for listening practice. 준수 and 혜진 bumped into each other in front of the elevator, as you can see here. The two of them are discussing the upcoming weekend. Let's go ahead and listen carefully to their conversation.
혜진 씨, 내일 시간 있어요? 같이 쇼핑을 하고 싶어요.
미안해요. 수업 끝나고 도서관에 가요.
아, 그럼 주말은 어때요?
네, 좋아요.
Were you able to understand the conversation? Let's answer some questions to check your understanding. So first, we have question number 1. It asks, 혜진 씨는 내일 뭐 해요? Or, what is 혜진 doing tomorrow? Our two answer choices here are 도서관에 가요, go to the library, or 쇼핑을 가요. Go shopping. So what is 혜진 gonna do tomorrow? Right, 혜진's gonna go to the library. So the correct answer would be 도서관에 가요. Now the next question, question number 2 asks, 준수 씨는 혜진 씨와 쇼핑을 언제 가요? Or when does 준수 go shopping with 혜진? Our answer choices here are 내일 가요, go tomorrow, or 주말에 가요, on the weekend. So when does he go shopping with 혜진? Right, he goes on the weekend, so the correct answer would be 주말에 가요. Excellent. Now it's time for the Vocabulary Plus section. Here, we will take a look at words related to weekend activities. Now our first phrase here is 책을 읽다. So in this picture here, what is the student doing? He's reading a book, or in Korean we would say 책을 읽어요. Now, if you study Korean every day, what book would you most likely read? Right, you would read your Korean language book. Or we could say that you do that every day by saying 매일 한국어 책을 읽어요. Now our next phrase here is 집에서 쉬다. Now you can see here's 준수 and he's sitting on the sofa watching TV. He's not studying, nor is he working. He's just relaxing. So he's relaxed at home. We could say 집에서 쉬어요. And let's say he does this on the weekend. We would say 주말에 집에서 쉬어요. Now our next phrase here is 친구를 만나다. So let's say I have plans with a friend. So what do? I meet the person, or I say 친구를 만나요. And let's say I meet this friend in front of school, just like this picture here. I would say 학교에서 친구를 만나요. Now the next phrase here is 산책을 하다. Now here we have a picture of 혜진, and what is she doing in the park? Right, she's walking, or we would say 산책을 해요. Now again, where is she walking? In the park. So how would we say she walks in the park? We would say 공원에서 산책을 해요. Now our next phrase here is 등산을 하다. Now you can see in the picture here, it's taking place at a mountain, and it's the weekend, and 준수 is going up that mountain. What is he doing? He's climbing up the mountain or hiking, so we could say 등산을 해요. Now again, remember, when is he doing this? On the weekend. So we could say he's doing this on the weekend by saying 주말에 등산을 해요. Now our next phrase here is 운동을 하다. Now it's the morning and 혜진 is going for a run in the park. Now tennis, soccer, swimming are all forms of exercise. So now, what is 혜진 doing here? Right, she's exercising. We could say that by saying 운동을 해요. And again, when does she do this? In the morning, every day. So we would say that she does this every morning by saying 아침에 매일 운동을 해요. Now our next phrase here is 여행을 가다. Now this person here wants to go somewhere and travel with her friend. So we would say go travel. That would be 여행을 가요. And let's say she's going to 제주도. We would say 제주도로 여행을 가요. Now the next phrase here is 파티에 가다. Now it's a friend's birthday and you're invited. So you probably would go to the party and you could say 파티에 가요. And let's say you're going to your friend's birthday party. We would say 친구 생일 파티에 가요. Now, let's practice using the vocabulary that we just learned. Here, there's a question asked. 주말에 뭐 해요? Now, in the first picture here, we have 준수. And what is he doing? He's resting at home, so we would say 집에서 쉬어요. Now, in the next picture, again, the question asks, 주말에 뭐 해요? So he hikes, so we would say in Korean, 등산을 해요. Now in this picture here, what does he do on the weekend? He meets a friend, so we would say 친구를 만나요. So now let's go ahead and read through this exercise one more time. Again, the question was 주말에 뭐 해요? Or what do they do on the weekend? If we go through them, there's 집에서 쉬어요. 등산을 해요. 친구를 만나요. Very good. Finally, it is time for the Korean culture section. What kind of movies do you like? Today, we are going to explore Korean movies. What kind of movie culture do you think there is in Korea? Let's take a look and find out.
한국의 영화. 한국인은 영화 보기를 좋아하여 많은 사람이 극장에 갑니다. 부산국제영화제, 부천국제 판타스틱 영화제, 국제 여성 영화제 등 다양한 국제영화제가 한국에서 열리고 있습니다. 또한 한국 영화는 외국의 영화제에서 많은 상을 받고 있습니다. 한국의 대형 영화관들은 서울뿐 아니라 전국의 지역 상영관을 가지고 있습니다. 그래서 같은 영화를 전국 어디에서나 볼 수 있습니다.
Now, let's go over what we learned today. Today's topic was the weekend. We learned about vocabulary related to weekend activities and the grammar points 고, which expresses the time order of events, and 고 싶어요, which expresses desire. Finally, in the culture section, we explored Korean movies. So, how do you feel? Do you think you could talk about your weekend plans in Korean? Great! Well, this brings us to the end of this lesson. See you next time!